I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Monday, March the 13th, starting the week out, and everybody's wondering what's Cash Fat Cattle going to do this week. Last week was so impressive, the way that the feedlots demanded more money and just kind of brushed off those lower bids earlier in the week in the face of that giant $10 basis that they could put in their pocket, and they ended up putting it in their pocket and gaining ground in the cash market at the same time. And just an incredible showing, and I don't think many of us thought that this cattle market was as strong as it is. The fundamentals, your box beef gained a lot of ground last week, your slaughter was good, our consumer demand is good, exports are looking pretty decent, and it's just everything really strong, and it's having to drag this board along, which is really the only impediment for this cattle market right now, is just trying to drag the ball and chain called the CME cattle futures along. Your board last week did end up higher for the week with gains late in the week after the strong showing in the cash market, but still lagging way behind what cash markets are. But live cattle futures gained $1.63 for the week last week, and feeder cattle $3.72. But we see that your trends on your feeder cattle last week, feeders were mostly steady to $1 higher to close the week. Started out the week with some pretty significant gains on your big volume sales a week ago, starting out on Monday there, but then started to fade a little bit in the middle of the week, and then came back strong late in the week after the board was higher and all the impressive fundamentals that happened last week. Light calves steady to $5 higher because it's springtime and things are starting to turn green, and your light grazing calves are always going to be like that. But your bigger calves, your heavier, fleshier, new crop calves, just not going to take full advantage of that forage if you turn them out. They were steady to $3 lower, and just not as much demand for those type. But what's really scarce right now is what everybody wants. That's the way things go. But a true stocker, which is a calf weight yearling, something that was really hard wintered and in a thin condition, just not seeing very many of them. And we just start seeing people buying those cattle earlier and earlier every year, and this year they bought them up in January and February, and just not many true stocker cattle out there to look at and see what they could do. But in places when they do show up with quality and condition and a gant good way up there, those cattle will absolutely bring it all. But check out this week. A lot of your sale barns are going to be having benefits for the fire victims, where they'll usually have a donated animal, and then they'll sell it and resell it and resell it and send all the money into the victims in some kind of a relief fund. Joplin Regional Stockyards is going to be having one here this Monday. You can watch that and even participate in the bidding online at dvauction.com. And so we invite you to watch that. But a lot of your sales that are coming up this week will have something to help out. And a lot of them have been collection points for hay to get shipped to the fire victims, and it's been a great thing to see. As you look late in the week, Lexington, Nebraska, here on Beef Market Central Market Report, you see the higher prices there on Friday, $4 to $6 higher, including over 400 head of 8 weights. They just averaged 810 on the light side, but averaging 130, 236, with help from this individual quote here in Lexington, Nebraska, of 140 steers weighing 801 at 135. That's your feeder flash for Monday.